Wager Talk Today, the gold standard of sports betting shows where we talk the talk and walk the walk. Plays of the day have moved to 6 in a row after our boy Shohei Ohtani lands exactly on 18 outs. Dan, it's kind of getting ridiculous how predictable some of these props can get in MLB.
Show over the 17 and a half. And that was, dude, here was the handicap. And we've done it, 2 days in a row. The starting pitching is going deep, especially for the Dodgers when they're named Yamamoto and Shohei Ohtani, right? So exactly 6 innings, we get our 18 outs. We move on with our life. But Andy, happy to be here with you. We got Yanni coming up on the show. We got Joe Raineri coming up on the show. We got MLB plays for you, NBA playoff plays. Where is the steam going? But Andy, less than a minute into the show, we do it every single day, folks. The Wager Talk Today, play of the day, as Andy alluded to it. Andy has smoked 6 straight of these in a row. Can we make it 7 straight? All we ask you to do, hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe. That's the price of admission here for the Wager Talk Today play of the day. What do we got, Andy?
Well, we're going to go to a first 5 under on the team total, and we're going to fade this Red Sox team who is kind of, I don't want to say the definition of a roller coaster because I wouldn't say they're there just yet, but they do have a lot of ups and downs, and I would say right now they're in a down. Their bats are pretty cold. They scored 1 run total the last couple games against the Yankees. They've scored under 1.5 in the first 5 and 5 out of their last 6 games, and they get a tough matchup here. Schlittler's been pretty good. 3 out of 5 starts, he's allowed no runs. Now, the other 2, he did allow 3 runs, but you get a combination of some bats that have not looked that great. You get a pitcher that's looked pretty good. And I just want to fade these Red Sox bats. I don't want the bullpens to get involved. I've won a couple of props on Schlittler, so I want to support him. And I don't like some of his numbers on like the strikeouts or the outs. So we'll just have him to have a good first 5 innings, take the Red Sox. Maybe they can get to 1 run, but I would say getting to 2 runs in the first 5 would be a tall task. Good price, good situation, good pitching matchup, bad bats. So we'll take the Red Sox under, try and extend the streak to 7-0 on plays of the day.
Yeah, and even if you just go by what they have done, game by game, Andy, on a whole game basis, as you allude to, they get the 1 run last night and 0 runs going back to last year. Over the last 10 times that these teams have faced off, the game under has hit 7 of those 10 times. So this has just been a slog. I like it. I like the pitching matchup, as you mentioned. So Red Sox not hitting early. Do we hit another one? Comment below and let us know. Do we make it 7 straight on the play of the day? Andy, as I alluded to, we got Yanni coming up. We're going to talk NFL draft. Is he seeing anything? Are there any bets to make there? Yes, the NFL draft is tonight, folks. I feel like it snuck up on us. We'll talk a little bit about that. We'll get Joe's thoughts as well. What are his New York Jets going to do in the draft? Nobody cares. But Raineri will also be breaking down that Yankees and Red Sox game. Does he agree with this under? Knicks, Hawks, Cavs, Raptors. Andy's taking you all around the world. So free plays and more, folks. Strap in. Going to be a terrific show. And Andy, I say we bring the Greek back in. As happy to have you back here, Yanni. How we doing on a Thursday, brother?
God bless America, man. What a country. Just again, you just put in the work and you're going to get rewarded for it. So far, so good. I just checked real quickly. Just wanted to share this because I get up real early to trade. I get up about 5 a.m. so that I'm locked in, ready to trade when the market opens at 6:30. And I checked to see how I'm doing so far this year. And heading in today, I was up 16.8% on my trades. And S&P 500 was at 4.4. So I'm outperforming the S&P 500 by 12.5%. Now, the reason I bring that up is simple. If I end the year up 20%, I'm going to outperform the S&P 500. I'm going to probably outperform the NASDAQ, and it's going to be a hell of a year, amazing year of trading. But if you bring that over to sports betting and you tell somebody I can help you make 20% on your account, they're going to look at you like, what am I going to do with that? So let me put it in perspective for you. So if you have $1,000 account and you start the year and I'm trying to get you excited to make $200 this year, most bettors are going to look at you like, what are you talking about? You're nuts. They want to see the Ferrari. They want to see how that 1,000 is going to turn into $500,000, how they're going to party in Miami and fly to Dubai. Like, how's this going to happen betting the way you're telling me? But that's the disconnect between reality and the real world. And I think that's why we continue to see, even though sports betting is growing, even though we have more outs than ever, and ability to line shop and lay low vig and get discounted odds and get all kind of bonuses, still 99.5% of all sports betting accounts have negative lifetime earnings. So that means only 1 out of every 200 people in the sports book are probably profitable. And yet gambling Twitter will tell you the opposite. And that's why I love shows like this, because we try to keep it real. So this is a roundabout way of telling you right now we're running really good. Up about 50 units the last 7 days, sitting top 5 in profit for 2026. But that's going to go up and down. My goal is simple. December 31st rolls around. I didn't waste 12 months. I invested my capital and I got a good return on my investment. Otherwise, why spend 12 months betting sports? I could put that money sitting in crypto, sitting in stocks, buy gold. There's so many in other investments, real estate you could make. So if you're going to bet sports, this is the most important takeaway besides the free stuff I'm going to share, because I got a lot of gold. Make sure you bet size correctly to overcome the negative stretches that are coming. I'm a perfect example of that. I started the year on fire, came out on fire. We got up how many units, then got cold. Now we're hot again. Overall, when the dust settles, if the year ended right now, we'd be up, 50 units for the year, winning year, decent year. But I'm sure a lot of my subscribers wouldn't be able to say that. Why? Because when I got cold, they got wiped out. That's got to stop happening. So please, 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 whether you're subscribed to me or not, don't make it easier on the bookmaker. Bet in relation to your bankroll. Your bankroll is your business, and you got to treat it like that. So if you have a $1,000 business, you should expect that $1,000 business to produce like a $1,000 business, not like $1 billion business. So let's keep that in perspective, because I'm running hot right now, and I got a lot of DMs of dudes asking for, a lock or this, that. Again, stay the course, bet size correctly. I'll do my job, you do yours. And I got nothing but gold for you today, Andy. Nothing but gold.
I have a production company, started in 2019. We're still not profitable, and I didn't expect it to. It's just nature.
Exactly.
It's just nature. It's just nature of the beast. And so we'll get into that later. Let's do gold. People want to hear some line movements and some steam. We got playoffs. We got NHL, NBA. We got a lot of day games in MLB.
Let me start off with the NBA playoffs. We got 3 games today. We got Knicks, Atlanta, Cleveland, Toronto, Denver, Minnesota. Knicks, Atlanta, Denver, Minnesota's 1-1. Obviously, we got a 2-0 lead in the Toronto Cleveland series. Here's what we have so far. Now, I know we've seen some line movement on the sides. Be cautious. Be cautious. The betting syndicates don't do much with the sides. In fact, when they do, it's usually a bet they're making that's 2 or 3 days out. Here's what I mean. Like, they're betting Saturday today. They're looking for Sunday's opener today based on a result that happens tonight. They're not betting the sides today. Like any line movement you're seeing today, be very cautious drawing conclusions. A lot of that is public related. And that's why you're seeing even a little difference between books based on the risk they have. The only legit moves I've seen are totals, and that's 530 Cleveland, Toronto over, and 531. That's over 232 in Denver and Minnesota. Those are the only legit steam that I've seen from the betting syndicates on the NBA so far. But rest assured, there'll be some team totals, some props like they always do. NHL, I've seen Ottawa minus 110 and the under 5.5 at plus money. And then also Colorado and the Kings under 5.5. They've done well when they get out and bet these unders in the NHL, especially when they've been opposite the public. And here's why I bring that up. Yesterday was a perfect example of that. Pittsburgh and the Flyers, where you saw a lot of one-sided action, but you saw the Sharps on the other side. You're seeing that today with the public heavy on the under in Colorado, on the over in Colorado and the Kings, but the sharps on the under in Colorado and the Kings. Some Major League Baseball for you. Like you said, we do have some day games. I actually saw this in the same account, if you can believe it. I saw Detroit minus 205, and I saw Milwaukee plus 1.5 minus 122. Do with that what you will. I have risk on both because I can't choose what they're going to bet. They just bet it. So I'm hoping Detroit wins by 1. I haven't done anything for my subscribers on that game. Here's some more MLB for you. 902 Washington plus 125 plus 120 and under 9.5. 903 Philly at even money. 905 under 12.5 minus 130. That was out there for maybe 5 minutes. Maybe the first book that went to market had it. I wouldn't consider that legit at all. 906 Colorado plus 150 came back, hit 140 as well. 910 Boston, betting Boston to finally get a win against the Yankees at home at plus 135. I told you about the Detroit game and also Pittsburgh plus 140 and the over 7.5. They laid 130 to go 7.5 instead of the 8. So that's some of the Major League Baseball action for you guys. Like I said, it's a busy, busy couple days we have ahead.
I'm not surprised the sharps are jumping on those unders in NHL. I know the public likes to bet the overs, and the unders have just been hitting breakneck speed. And then last night, what do you see? The totals of 7, 7, and 10. So all of them go over. Perfect time for the sharp. This is a perfect time for the public to get murdered tonight on betting the overs, and so I totally understand that one.
Real quickly in Major League Baseball, we have 3 teams: San Diego, LA Dodgers, and Atlanta, I believe, is it? That third team. Yeah, Atlanta that have, and Cincinnati. And Chicago, forgive me. Those are 5 teams, and New York Yankees, 6 teams that all have won well over 60% of their games so far this year. Rest assured, I would bet right now, if you gave me plus 150, that only one of those 6 finish above 60%. Give me plus 200, I'll tell you not even one gets above 62%. I would take that bet, that not even one of those 6 teams. So be cautious with these teams that are out there winning already, close to 70% of their games. We know it's not sustainable in Major League Baseball, just like a team like the Phillies, the Mets, Houston, Kansas City, Chicago White Sox, Boston Red Sox. They will not win only 30% of their games. In fact, the worst team in baseball this year, when all the dust settles, will be the Colorado Rockies, and they will still win over 35% of their games, under 40% of their games. It'll be right there around 35 to 40%. So use that information, the handicap baseball, and you will do very well, because you'll see teams that are way overpriced that cannot sustain what they're doing, and you'll see teams that are way underpriced that will do nothing but get better. So there's a couple of overvalued, undervalued in baseball for you.
Yeah, I was going to pull this up later on in the show, Yanni, but I got the numbers right here in front of me. The Diamondbacks are 18-6 on the run line. That's an insane percentage on the run line. And on the flip side, cover your ears, Dan. Your poor Phillies are 4-20.
I told you,
4-20.
I know
they've covered the run line 4 times.
Minus 50 run differential. They have a minus 50 run differential in 24 games. So they're losing by more than 2 runs per game on average. You could lay the run line against them every single game, at least up until today. And you made a lot of money.
And now that the Mets finally got off the snide, now they're the sole owner of the longest losing streak in baseball. And, heading into the year, I was warning people about this Phillies team. They're just running it back the same exact way that they have these last few seasons. And then you had all that off-field drama with the GM being like, Bryce Harper's no longer elite. There was just horrible vibes around this team. It's playing out exactly how I expected it. So I know some people in the chat.
Go ahead, quickly, Yanni. Not to interrupt you. Sorry, Dan, but I just didn't want to forget this. I know how bad they're doing, but right now, if I had to tell you how the NL East finishes, Atlanta wins. They win the division by about 10 games. They will win it by double-digit games. Behind them will be the Mets. The Mets will be in second place when the dust settles. And behind the Mets will be the Philadelphia Phillies, who will be probably about 2 or 3 games behind the Mets. And way behind them will be Miami and finally Washington. That's correct. That Washington team that's sitting at third right now, winning 44% of their games, will finish last in that division. And the last place New York and the last place Philadelphia Phillies will both finish right behind the Atlanta Braves. You heard it right here. Mark it down. April 23rd with them.
Yeah, clip that because social media will have thoughts about that, Yanni. I'm sure.
I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of feedback on that for sure.
I love it, man.
A couple things here, Yanni. We'll get to UFC. Fatone, I see you there. I have never heard it this quiet about betting on NFL draft.
Wow.
I have never heard it this quiet. And a lot of guys
just in general about the draft, Andy, like it snuck up on us. Like there is not much hype around this draft. It feels like so.
I've heard that the books are they're very low limits. And they're sick of it. The quote that I saw from a bookmaker was, our algorithm is about math. The draft is about information, and we don't have the information. So what's your thoughts on the draft? Anything? Bro, the guys I know have nothing this year. Nothing.
It's the slowest draft. And I live for the draft. Like results wise, I have done very well in the draft to where I had customer service reaching out to me 2 weeks ago, asking me when I'm going to have, like, people are asking about draft plays. And I said, well, I've got to wait till I see something in the accounts because I don't handicap the draft until the final week. I don't have like information where I'm going to get out ahead of the market. Like I'm not that stupid to think I'm going to be able to do that. So I see what they do. And then at the final week, I feel confident in myself. With that said, I only had 3 plays up until going into today. I'll give them to you right now. I don't even know if the lines are still available. We bet that there are under 11.5 Big Ten players drafted in the first round at -125 for 3%. I bet under 6.5 the number of ACC players drafted in the first round at -300, also 3%. And then I also bet a 3% play first wide receiver drafted, Jordan Tyson, +200. So those are the 3 bets the betting syndicates I work with had made leading into today. I haven't seen anything yet today. So I don't know if they're going to fire anything else or if they're just not using my accounts and saving them for baseball and all that other stuff. Because I just haven't seen it. With that said, I'm going to handicap some stuff and see if there's anything that I could add and share to my subscribers, maybe a couple more plays. But you're right. I don't see the excitement for the draft. I don't see the sharps and the betting syndicates going shop to shop like they done in years past. I don't know whether it's the game has changed or whether the prediction markets, and like you said, with the sports books just keeping the limits so low, if some betting syndicates just say it's not worth the work that we have to put in for the small edges, based on the fact they move the line so quickly, so significantly, and it's hard to bet the same play in different shops, multiple shops because of that. I don't know, but you're absolutely right. I have mock draft sheet from a guy that I trust that I do some NFL stuff with. And because I have his draft sheet, I'm going to look to see if there's any props that may be a little mispriced based on his work that I agree with. But yeah, I'm seeing the exact same thing as you guys. And I don't know why.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. So we'll jump to UFC here real quick before we let you go.
Sir.
Zalal and Sterling. I'm seeing a little bit of money come in on Sterling. Dumont, Edwards, I guess a little bit on. I don't know. What are you seeing? There's only a couple fights that get me excited.
Sterling opened, I think, like a 2-1 favorite at the first book that went to market, but that lasted all 5 minutes, and it went down to a coin flip. And since then, you saw a little Zalal money, and then, like you said, you're starting to see the Sterling money. I think you're going to see good balance where it sits at this price. Obviously, Sterling -200, Zalal had value. I think you're at a point now where it's kind of dog or pass. Again, I got to give the momentum and timing to Zalal age-wise, 6-7 years younger. He's coming in on a little run where he's won 5 straight fights. He knows what's ahead of him if he can beat Sterling after beating Emmett. So there's a lot on the table for Zala. That's why I understand why he's the favorite. But I don't have any confidence in laying it because of that hot streak. If anything, I think it's Sterling or pass. But if I had to pick who's going to win the fight, stylistically, I think Zala has the edge. Dumont Edwards, tough fight. 2 girls coming in on hot streaks. One big difference that stuck out to me, and that's why the price is Dumont such a heavy favorite. It's strength of schedule. Edwards' win come against opponents who've won like 40% of their UFC fights, where Dumont's beating girls that are like at that 65 to 70% mark. So again, you can only beat who's in front of you, but we have seen when Edwards step up, she hasn't gotten past that test. That's why I think Dumont's so heavily chalked. But that's another spot where I would not lay that. It's so heavily favored to get the decision, like 4-1, 5-1. So we have seen these judges do a horrific job in the UFC for years. It hasn't gotten better. So I do not want to be sitting on a minus 250 with 3 judges having to decide a fight that's probably going to be pretty close as far as the box score goes. What quickly that stuck out, a lot of sharp money on Rafa Garcia against Alexander Hernandez. If you missed the price on Rafa, I do think you'll see Hernandez money from the public. He's coming in off 4 straight wins, off back-to-back knockouts. And, Rafa's won 4 or 5 himself, but he just doesn't get that kind of attention or notoriety. So I do think if you do agree with the sharp money on Garcia, to wait, because that price is gone. And bet that I did release a prop I'll share. I gave over in the main event just because I thought anything less than minus 200 is just too good to pass up. Like 2 out of 3 times is my break even. Zala's just not the type of finisher that's going to create problems for Sterling. He's not that knockout guy. And subbing Sterling is going to be very difficult. And on the flip side, Yusuf hasn't been finished. I mean, all his losses have come by decision. So he's extremely durable, having fought some really tough guys. So it's a little chalky, but I gave it out to subscribers for 3%. Kind of wish I went 4. But again, I have no reason to really put up too much risk when you're laying minus 200. The margin for error is slim with chalk. But that's what stuck out early on for me.
I kind of like Jocelyn. I think she's got just a little bit more upside. I'm surprised she's only 27. It feels like she's been in our lives for a long time.
Yeah,
so
good point.
She's getting better. Dumont leaves a lot to be desired. I'll tell you another disgusting. I'm glad I feel like I'm the only one on. I like Eric McConaughey to upset Rodolfo Vieira. Rodolfo has no striking, and McConaughey just stuff a couple takedowns, and he's going to piece up Vieira on the feet. And I'm getting plus 235 on Rodolfo, who just got knocked out on the feet by Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel beat him on the feet. A collegiate wrestler beat him on the feet. I like that one. There's
Vieira's a 500 fighter. Maybe, he's won maybe 6 out of 10 fights, and you're going to lay that kind of chalk. Again, just McConaughey just doesn't have that appeal to him with his only win coming by split decision to Cody Brundage. But I agree with you there. That was actually a really close fight against Suskara until that he got knocked out. Like that
he was stuffing takedowns. He was competing with his feet. Like that was no joke. No joke. Michelle Montague, I think this is the end of the road for Mayra Buena Silva. 0-4 since she tested positive for a banned substance. Dan Levy, he's been in the space forever. He's kind of friends with Cody Durden. Cody Durden's taking a fight on short notice, probably going to get submitted against Philo, and he's talked about Durden possibly retiring. And then there's a guy making his UFC debut, Lucas Brennan. Do you know Lucas Brennan from PFL? This guy's not UFC.
Yes.
He's not UFC ready. I can't believe they brought him in this early. This is way too early. My guess is he gets washed under 2.5 on that one. He comes out
if Francis Marshall, this price would be so different had he gotten that split decision against Marion Santos, who's undefeated in the UFC. This would be a much different price. I like it. I agree with you.
Yeah. So I like the under. Brennan comes out like a bat out of hell, and if he doesn't get the finish, he's toast. He tries to backpack and get the choke, and if he doesn't, he's done. All right, we've gone long, but love you, Yanni. What do you have up for Thursday?
There's no package up except my UFC for Saturday with a 5% big move in there. Why? Because I will have the NBA package up. I'm just trying to determine whether it's going to be a 4% like yesterday or a 5% like the day before. Don't want to force any ratings as far as that goes. Got to see what kind of CLV we may get. Baseball only to subscribers unless it's a 4% or better. That's when I package them up. Because again, I really like focusing on my guys that are with me for longer term, because I could talk to them in the steam room. I could guide them through the year. When I'm running hot, I don't mind the guys jumping in for the day. God bless you. I hope I win for you the day you buy. But I don't really have control over that. But I also have a free play. I gave out a 3% in soccer. 2 3% today is all I gave out so far. In soccer, actually, I believe one of them at least is up for free also at WagerTalk. So check that out. And again, come back a little later. You'll see my packages up for tonight's action. And because of all the day action, not stored, though, be a steam sheet because I just shared all the baseball right here. So that's going to do it. Best of luck to everyone today.
Yanni, we appreciate it. And he mentions, Andy, the steam room there, and AOD is pumped up for the steam room. Steam room this weekend, free. So if you're subscribed here to WagerTalk TV here on YouTube, second that Yanni's going live, boom, it's going to pop up for you. Don't miss out on the steam room. See what it's all about for free this weekend, Yanni. Stay hot, brother. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, my man. Thank you, boys.
Have a good one, man. Steam room, free. Just hit subscribe. A little subscribe button. Hit the bell, the notification will let you know. Andy, he was mentioning, hey, nothing that they're firing on today for us, WT.buzz/AL. First 5% NBA prop of the season. You've been seeing it great on the hardwood. Last night, cashed in lacrosse. We had a 7.5-point underdog who won outright by 8 goals. Had some people messaging us. They hit that money line. Nice plus 1260. So let's stay hot tonight, man. And it continues with a 5%er going tonight.
Yeah, it's my first 5% of the season. And honestly, since I've been at WagerTalk, we've had 5% plays in the NBA. Wow. We've won 4 of them, 4-1. We're seeing the playoffs really, really well. We had Lou Dort to have over 1.5 made threes. He got there in the first 4 minutes of the game. So we're really seeing it well. 5-1 in the playoffs. And sometimes the spots, I was praying that we got the number that we got, and the books released the props and we got the exact number I wanted. So we're firing away. I want you to get the 5% best bet, but there's really no reason to just get that. We're still running the 3 days and get 3 free. So you might, the one play is $35. You might as well spend 70 and get 6 days. That way Dan's going to have a pretty big lacrosse week next week. We've got rugby plays that are up, any golf plays that we have up, UFC, NBA, NHL, and MLB. We've been seeing really, really well. I don't believe we've lost an MLB play in the last couple days. So does the 5% come with the weekend package? Yeah, just get your 3 days FFF, and you get the 5% tonight, and you get it locked in. So actually,
FFF Triple F has to buy anyways, because yesterday on the show, Andy and him went head to head on a prop live wager. He said, "Hey, if I beat you head to head on the prop, you're going to have to buy my package." And he said, if Triple F, if you beat me, man, I'll give you a free package. And guess what? Andy, toe-to-toe. Not really the guy who I want to go toe-to-toe on NBA props with right now. But, hey, now financially free and focused, you can hop on board, grab that 5%, or buy 3, get 3. I think that's the best way to attack it.
Yeah, he gets 6 days now. So what a deal. So, yeah, you're going to get 6 days for your bet that lost. By the way, he made a good bet. He liked Jalen Duren. Duren played great last night. His defense was incredible. It just didn't show up on the offensive end in the stats. But in all seriousness, love the bet that we have tonight. We're on a really sustainable run in all of these sports. So really happy with where we're at. So looking to close out April really strong. Joe, I see the look on Joe's face. He's like, I wish you guys would close out this segment strong so we can get
Oh, no, that look on Joe's face is because he's fresh off of recording the best betting show ever. And Joe, on today's edition, I believe there will be some patented Prez rants, because I saw Joe feverishly. He was like, I'm trying to come on WagerTalk today, and Prez won't shut the F up. So that's what you're going to get on today's show, right, Joe?
I had to log in and actually send Dan the feed so he could see my misery as he won't shut up. And I'm like, I gotta go. And he just ranting on. So I wanted Dan to see it live so he understood the pain that I've been dealing with for the last 45 minutes.
No, and Joe, you even gave him the subtle nudge where you had him on the one shot, and then you're like, all right, the 2 shots back up. It means shut the hell up, Prez. But no, it's going to be a terrific edition of the best betting show ever, especially if you like Prez rants. So check that out. It's going to be on the channel here shortly after we're done here with Joe. But Joe, nice palate cleanse because we got 3 great matchups to talk about, 2 of them NBA. But let's start with your Yankees tonight. They have just been dominating the Red Sox in this series. And now Cam Schittler is going to be heading to the mound here. And over this weekend, Joe, I'm sure that you saw, dude was getting death threats and harassment, all kinds of it from Red Sox fans over the weekend. I'm so shocked Boston fans are going over the line. But now Andy broke this game down earlier just from the team total perspective, thinking that the Red Sox might not be able to get to him rather early in this one. How are you looking to bet? If any thoughts, total, side, Yankees continue the domination, or is this the last gasp of avoiding the sweep here for the Sox?
I can tell you this right now as I think I'm being arrested. I can tell you that I don't agree. I don't think that – is the pitcher's name Tool, Andy? I can't bet on somebody named Tool. Because whoever this is that the Red Sox are throwing out, I hope he can hit because the Red Sox can't right now. 74 WRC plus at home, 86 WRC plus against right-handed pitching. They're barely 80 in the last 7 days. This is a Boston offense who may or may not have Roman Anthony back in it. Not that that matters because it's not like he's been crushing the ball. They have serious offensive issues right now here. And you mix in that they made Louis Heel look like a Cy Young Award winner. You make it look, we knew what they were going to struggle with him last night. And now you have arguably the best pitcher on the Yankees right now in Schlittler going tonight, whose numbers are off the chart with what he's doing here right now. Wait, are they just all of a sudden going to flip a switch now and somehow get to Schlittler like they all is going to be well? I'm not buying it at all. Not to mention their bullpen has been worked ever since that early game on Monday where they had to empty the bullpen there. I think it's all advantage Yankees here. They got the advantage in the bullpen. They got the advantage offensively. They've got now to their credit, I think the kid was the 16th ranked prospect in the league coming in here. But he hasn't pitched since April 12th. He's had 11 days rest going into this start. So I would look, I didn't understand the number. I would look towards the Yankees early. I like them in the first 5. And I wouldn't at all be opposed to looking that direction. And by the way, if you think it's going to be a pitcher's battle, then I'd look at the first 5 under as well. So I think I would take the bullpens out of it. Schlittler's got a big advantage over this kid, and I think you're going to see that firsthand today.
Trig knows this guy from AAA and says says he probably doesn't. It's this guy's first start, so probably doesn't expect him to go that deep into a game. So you may be getting to bullpens, at least on the Red Sox side, like sooner rather than later in this one. So we're going to move to the NBA here. We have the Knicks and the Hawks and the Cavs and the Raptors. I got to bring up, you got Jaden McDaniels and CJ McCollum, who I can't quite remember this. 2 guys that early in the series just blatantly called out the other team for not being able to play defense. Jaden McDaniels is just like, we're going after Jokic, we're going after Jamal, we're going after Tim Hardaway. They're all bad on defense. And the reporter asked McCollum about Brunson, and McCollum's like, what do you think? Did you think I went after him? Yeah, we going after him. I've never seen this before.
I love it. I mean, it's what the NBA needs more than anything else right now is some rivalries and some shit talking. Let's be honest here. I mean, it can't be banana boats and wine and vacations with your buddies and we can't have that anymore. That didn't turn out all that well. We need some pure hatred going on. We need rivalries. And right now, especially in that Minnesota-Denver one tonight, they have done nothing but talk smack the entire time. But they have history, at least, together. I mean, Minnesota has had success against Denver. I mean, don't forget, Minnesota has lost in the Western Conference Final in back-to-back years. They're not a terrible team, and they've had Denver's number for whatever reason. So I think that's going to be a war. This is an interesting one with the Knicks in Atlanta because I don't know what to make of it outside of the Knicks just shooting themselves in the foot every chance they can have. I saw the record, Andy, where it was like the Knicks in the postseason were like 53 or 54-1 when they were up by at least 14 points going into the fourth quarter. The only time they lost was to Reggie Miller back in the day with the Pacers. Was the only time they ever blew that kind of lead in the postseason. Well, I guess you can add Atlanta now because I don't know what the hell they were. Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns are off the court. It was like they just thought Atlanta was going to lay down, and that was going to be the end of it here. Surprise did not happen here. And you got to give Atlanta credit. They're not going to play anybody big. They're playing small ball. They figured some things out defensively, but I think more importantly, they figured things out offensively here. That game should have went flying over the total in game 2. Shouldn't have even been close except for the 15 points the Knicks scored in the fourth quarter. I don't see that happening here. I think the total has been bet down. I think it's right now in fire range. No way, 215, I think, for two teams that have now seen each other. I think they are more than capable of putting up more points in this one than the total thinks here. Both those games actually should have gone over, especially game 2. I think game 3, I think we land in the 220s, not the teens in this one.
All right. Okay. I like it. I got to say, listen, if you've been somebody that has been on the NBA is soft, not this postseason.
Mm-mm.
I mean, that game last night between Orlando and Detroit, that was a pushing, shoving rock fight. Even the Thunder and the Suns, that's about as dirty as it gets, and I am all for it. The Trailblazers and Spurs, it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying watching these games. I'm enjoying this postseason.
Well, Andy, when you get somebody like Booker, who half the time you have to check if he has a heartbeat, because you don't know whether he's actually breathing or not. The guy is like emotionless across the board. When he goes to the podium after the game and calls out a ref by his name, I don't know what that's going to cost him, but then then there's a lot going on here on the court in these games across the board. I mean, that was like a 1990s, where's Charles Oakley with Orlando and Detroit? Like hand checking, like guys getting elbow. That's going to be, and that's not going to get any better as that series goes on, by the way.
The reffing was unbelievably slanted towards OKC. So 3:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturday is the Thunder and the Suns. You're not going to want to miss that game. Dylan Brooks is going to be on one, and the refs are
going to get arrested. I just think he's going to be arrested. Bring bail money.
Sent to the
he's
gulag.
Going out swinging, man. He's going out swinging.
It's going to be a rock fight, and the refs are going to overcorrect. I'm going to bet SGA isn't going to get those bullshit calls, and then Lou Dort is going to get involved, and it's going to be a great game. It's going to be highly entertaining. So, and
they ought to settle down because it looks like they lost Jalen Williams last night to the hamstring again. I mean, this is a guy that missed 50+ games. They are not the same team without him. I wouldn't want to be going into a Denver, Minnesota, or San Antonio series without him. So they better be careful, OKC, moving forward.
We always say this every year. You can do all the handicapping you want. You can't handicap Wembanyama bouncing his face off the floor and now possibly like some of these things. So sadly, you get to break down a series that is not very entertaining to watch, the Cavs and the Raptors, but it's a betting show. So what do we do with the Cavs here? -3 over under 221.5.
Oh, you just don't watch it. That's all you can do here. You just you make sure it's nowhere near your eyeballs at any particular time here tonight. But in all seriousness, listen, the Raptors put up a shut-up time here. It did not go well in the first 2 games here, simply because the Raptors did themselves no favors. You cannot turn the ball over a combined 40 times in 2 games and think you're going to be on the road and take advantage of you've got Mobley, who is just dominating in the paint. Harden's getting whatever he wants. Mitchell's getting whatever he wants. Max Strus thinks he's wearing a Miami Heat uniform again. Like, he's just bombing away. Like, all of that. They need to have their A game. But I think the thing they need to have more than anything else is they need to have Emmanuel Quigley available for this game here. And it does look like, I think they were posting props for him earlier today, Andy, which I guess is a step in the right direction here, because they need him from the 3-point shooting. They need their point guard back on the court, because without him, 40 turnovers, the amount of free buckets in transition that they've given to the Cavs, their offense goes MIA without them. It looks totally scattered. He is a big reason why, if he's going tonight and this thing hovers around the 3.5 more than a bucket, I would consider the dog here. I would also I had the under in game 2 when everyone thought we were going to get another 290 points. I don't think so. I think this game is going to end, the series is going to keep trending towards the under tonight. But Quigley, to me, if he's in and he's confirmed and I can get 3 or more, I'm on Toronto here tonight to get one back.
Yeah, ask the Houston Rockets if having a point guard is somewhat important once the playoffs.
You don't like watching Durant just bring the ball up in the court in the second half of games? Like, what? Guy's like 38 years old, and you're asking this guy to be no. No wonder why his knee hurts. My goodness.
My knee would hurt too, trying to bring the ball up.
It is clear, Andy, they don't like one another. I've never seen anything like it. Like, that team does not like one another at all. The faces, the expressions, there is something seriously lacking with the Houston Rockets. I don't know how many burner-phones that Durant has now. It's got to be absurd how many he's got rolling
to keep up with all that. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't had a team who their superstar got caught with burner accounts talking shit about their teammates. Their coach openly hates the 3rd overall pick and won't play him in the playoff
That's
games.
correct.
Like,
they don't like one another.
No,
Nope.
they really don't. There's a lot of, you cannot, this series, not only can you not be down 0-2, this shouldn't be competitive to go against Lakers with no Luka and no Austin Reeves.
Luke Kennard, Marcus Smart, and a 41-year-old LeBron are wiping the court with you, right?
Eating their ass.
It's just not even, it's embarrassing. And you got to be kidding me. Like, seriously, you can't figure out. So they're double teaming Durant. You can't draw anything up. Can't figure out somebody else to get the ball and nothing. Huh? Okay, good stuff.
No.
Where's Fred VanVleet when you need him? My goodness.
How many playoff teams do you think Jackson Hayes would be getting minutes for?
It's laughable. It's like, and all they're doing is buying time, because you know who's coming back here in the next game or so. So they'll have Reeves, they'll have Luka back, and then it's lights out Houston. My goodness, that is ugly.
And then Luka and Reeves are fresh. They're like the freshest guys in the playoffs.
Yep.
Oh,
Good
wow.
luck.
Rob's a big.
Doc Rivers, I love it, Rod. That is nothing sells dumpster fire like Doc Rivers. That is outstanding. I love it. Outstanding work there.
Famous last words. Yeah.
Rob is not president of the Doc Rivers fan club, if you know.
No.
So. What do you have up for everybody on this Thursday here?
Locked in 2 Major League Baseball games, 1 NBA play here tonight, as well as I just put it up to 5% NBA play for tomorrow. So all ready to go, locked and loaded. We've already hit 1 5%er here in the postseason. We're going to make it another. They don't come around often, but when they do, it's for damn good reason. So all of that is available over at WagerTalk.com.
Joe Raineri, always love having you join us on a Thursday. Thank you so much, man. Good luck on all your plays.
Yeah, wish me say a prayer. I got to go back to Prez now. Thanks, guys.
Oh, God.
All right, man.
Oh, God. Oh, man. Don't envy him. Don't envy him. But isn't a great show that if you hit subscribe, you'll see when the best betting show is up. Why is Joe hating his life today? Find out on the best betting show ever, right here on WagerTalk TV.
We got a couple questions here. Where will Udoka end up next? Because he's getting fired. There's a lot of baggage that comes with Udoka. He benches guys if they miss one defensive assignment. It worked in Boston. It's just not working here. Crossover zigzags ATS 6 in a row. It's alive. Yes, it's alive. Is it sustainable at six in a row?
That's a good point.
Hard to say. So, we had a great question about how do you keep up with all the baseball games? I think this is a fantastic question. I don't have time to. Okay, first off, nobody has time to watch all the MLB games.
Only Trig is the only one who somehow knows every NBA or every MLB game and how it ended.
Yeah, so I don't have time to watch all the MLB games. Where do you watch all the highlights to get all the info of the night or the previous day? I don't watch a whole lot of highlights. I specialize in props, and so I'm concentrating on just the numbers. So the box score tells me a lot, and then you go look at some of the deeper numbers the next morning, and that'll tell you everything you need to know. Watching highlights to me doesn't really tell you a whole lot in MLB. That's just my opinion. I do watch NBA because I want to see the game flow. I want to see the rotations. I want to see the body language. But MLB, in my opinion, you just don't need a whole lot of watching it to be a better. Yanni will tell you the exact same thing. You don't need to watch, especially baseball. It's all about getting the best number. Jan has, I think he's 3-1. He's our guy. Jan has played 4 money lines for us, and he's won 3 of them, literally just by getting the better number on the better pitcher that day. Yeah. So I would say you don't have to try and watch all of the highlights. If you want to, here's social media, man.
Yeah, and Block points out too, MLB does have that quick pitch that you can get through, game rewinds, everything like that. It is, a paid service. But I would argue for any of the big 4, the one that you can get away with box score watching is MLB, because there really isn't as much of a storyline, like you said, as much of a game flow. Like, it is what it is. It's 3 up, it's 3 down. It's a formulaic type sport. And you go watch that Moneyball movie. They deduced everything down to just analytics in baseball. And that's not the only way to handicap. Don't get me wrong. But I would say with this huge long season, with all of these games in place, with 3-game sets, 4-game sets, MLB more than any sport, and I would argue it's not even close. Box score is number 1 on my list of how am I handicapping MLB, or how you should be handicapping MLB.
And the highlights don't tell you much. Like, you can't.
The ball was hit. Okay, so the dude nuked one to the upper deck. It still counted as 1 run. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You want to look at a pitcher if he's struggling. You can look up velocity. Yes. Oh, his velocity's down. Oh, how's the weather? Well, the wind is blowing out. Okay, the wind's blowing in. So you look at under. So yeah, highlights I wouldn't worry too much about. So yeah. Let's see. We got all of it. Do you want to do here? I pulled it up here, Dan, so we can do the EV analytics here. I mentioned them earlier with Yanni, but we can go over some of these.
Yeah. Here we go. Some trends. Are they sustainable or not?
Yeah. So this is the run line. We talked about your Phillies that are 4-20. It's got to turn around. That is such an unsustainable number.
Eventually,
such an unsustainable number. Diamondbacks are 18-6, and Braves and Reds 16-9, 16-9, 16-9. Those seem to be. I wouldn't say those are fadeable, but I'm saying that your Phillies have got to start covering some run lines at some point. It's baseball. These guys are professional athletes. Like,
maybe once they start becoming run line dogs. Yeah.
Yeah. Looking at, this is the game totals. Really nothing too much here. Astros leading the way 18-8, but take a look at last 5. White Sox 5-0, and Padres. Well, we talked about them. They were an over machine. Now they've gone under 4 in a row. So that is those are your MLB ones. So see, the Phils really are that bad. It will get worse.
I will say, Andy, if you want to watch a team that's body language sucks, watch the Philadelphia Phillies right now. Like, you talk about finding highlights. Do the numbers always tell the whole story? The numbers don't tell how bad it is in that clubhouse. I mean, the numbers are bad. The vibes are worse.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know if it can get worse. They're on the longest losing streak in MLB. What do we mean it's going to get worse? What, they're going to lose another 15 straight? Like, I do think, that's more of a talking point than anything. Oh, they're bad and it's only getting worse. Hard to get any worse than having the longest losing streak in MLB.
All right, let's do all around the world, and then we'll get out of here. All right. We didn't talk about the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. I'm going to take a look at the Timberwolves over 116.5 on their team total. I mentioned Jaden McDaniels just flat out came out and said, we're going after all these guys. They're not good on defense. Maybe the thinking is the Nuggets stepping up on defense. I'm not sure they have the guns to do it. I think this could be a shootout tonight. They scored 119 the last game, and that was on the road. Now they're at home. And the Nuggets, they just got defensive problems. Aaron Gordon is not right. He's banged up. Peyton Watson is still out. Jamal Murray looked tired in the fourth quarter. And the last game, the Wolves, this is a crazy stat. 19 of 30 from free throws. That's a terrible percentage for an NBA team. So I believe that percentage goes up a little bit. And they out-rebounded the Nuggets last game. I would not be surprised if the Timberwolves pull this one. I think the Nuggets have got some really serious problems on that team, and it really centers around Aaron Gordon. When he's healthy, this is a championship caliber team. When he's not, it's just a lot to overcome on defense. So take the Wolves team total. And Joe is just here. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're going to take the Dodgers starting pitcher to go over 17.5 outs, Dan. The relievers still are a little bit thin. Yamamoto and Ohtani both made it over 17.5 outs. I'll take Tyler Glasnow to go over. He's gone over 18-plus outs in 4 straight. And honestly, it could be a letdown spot for the Giants. If you're the Dodgers, don't you gotta get a win here? So we see this a lot when a team wins a couple games to start the series. They overachieve. It's a little bit of a letdown. And honestly, it's not like the Giants have been putting up 8 runs. I think they've scored 3.
No, it's been low scoring.
And by the way, Ohtani pitched a shutout, and the reliever comes in and promptly gives up 3 runs to take the loss. Letdown spot for the Giants. I'll take Glasnow to go over there. So
I like it, Andy. And if folks have made it this long in the video, we appreciate it. Hit that like button and subscribe. As you know, question that I have for you today: the NFL draft is tonight. Yes, no one's really excited about it. Congrats on winning Francisco Mendoza. We'll see how that works out for the Raiders. But with the draft comes all the snacking, Andy. Let us know what your favorite chip is in the comments below. Chip or salty snack? I know it's a tough one, Andy. For me, old classic, man. I could down an entire bag of just the original nacho cheese Doritos. Nacho cheese Doritos, they're a situational chip for me. So let us know your favorite chip if you've made it this far in the video. Comment below.
If you've never had chips, or as they call them over in Europe, crisps, if you've never had crisps over in Europe, you'd be stunned at how much better they are than they are over here.
I bet. Because they actually are food. They're not synthetic.
It's not even comparison. It's really, really stunning. Yeah. If I got to pick one here, I will just go with the cheddar and sour cream.
That's a great choice. Also, if we're talking potato chip, a Cape Cod kettle chip, strong. Cape Cod
kettle chip strong. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones.
But the sour cream, I'm right there with you. And the cheddar, that's another level, Andy. So well done. We're both in the cheesy sector. Let us know your favorite chip in the comments below.
All right. Well, we're going to give away a 3-day pass tomorrow because the Hawks and the Knicks play tonight. So tune in, and we got a big Friday show. We're going to get you ready for the weekend. Hit the like button. Partner up on that 5% best bet in NBA. I'm loving the play tonight. Loving the situation. Loving the number. Really excited to cash with you guys. Let's celebrate tomorrow. Good luck on your bets. We'll see everyone tomorrow. Take care.